In this video, I'll go over some of the basics of Lab 1 ArcGIS Pro, and specifically Part 2, which is where you first open a project. So before you can open the project, you have to copy the data. So I'm going to go onto the R drive, I'm going to go into the year of the class, the term of the class, Geog360E, and then data, and Lab1 underscore ArcGIS Pro should appear there. I'm going to right click and say copy, and then I'm going to go back to the R drive 2025 again, Spring Geog360, but this time I'm going to go under Students, and I made a folder for myself here under Knelp, K-E-N-N-E-L-P, and I'm going to paste it in there. So I can either use the icon here or type it here. Arc, and then ArcGIS Pro comes up. I'm going to open that. And when this comes up, I'm going to specifically open the project in that folder that I just copied over. So it's an existing project. Of course, first I have to sign in. And once I'm signed in, I'm going to go to this button here and I'm going to say open another project. Once I say open another project, I want to go to the folder I just copied over. So I want to go to the R drive on this PC, the R drive, the year, the term, Geog360, and this is important. I want to go into my student folder. I don't want to go into my data folder because you can't write to that folder, but you can write to your student folder. So I go under student and then my name. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to open this world.aprx file. That's our ArcView project file is .aprx extension. I'm going to select that and I'm going to say OK. So what we can see is that this ArcView project contains a map tab, which is this tab shown up here, and it only has one map on it. And this map, as shown here in the table of contents, it includes a feature class called World Counties, which are polygons, and then it includes a world topographic map as a base map. The first place we're going to go here is we're going to, these are the different tabs up here, and each one of those has a ribbon associated with it of what we can do while we're concerned with that. We're going to be concerned with the map here, and then we're going to be navigating the map. And we can see this is the Explore button, and if we hover over it, it tells us how we can explore the map. And so, you can do different things like move it around, use your mouse to zoom in and out, but you can read about all of that here. Also in the Explorer, we can go to the, we can do zoom in or zoom out, or we can also go to the, or we can click here and go to the full extent of the map, which means we're showing the entire map here. Another thing we can do here is we can add bookmarks. So if we were concerned with Mexico, we can zoom into Mexico or any other country. And if we just wanted a quick way to show this and always arrive back here, we could add a bookmark. So if I go under bookmarks and then say new bookmarks and call, instead of bookmark 1, I call it Mexico. Now if I zoom back to the full extent and I want to quickly zoom back to Mexico, I can just go under here and that bookmark I saved is saved and it zooms right into that extent that I set for Mexico. That's really nice if you want to just show part of the map. In our table of contents here, we have two different map layers. We can drag one above the other. The one is always going to display over the other. So this is our base map, and then we have world countries on top of it. I can also turn these on or off. the base map 2. And then we can just show whatever we want. You might notice these buttons at the top here. We can show where the data is being sourced from. So World Counties is coming from this geodatabase. As you can see, it ends in world.gdb, and that's in my student folder, in my KENNELP folder under students. So it is coming from the proper location. This, however, is it's a map service that's being provided from ArcGIS Online. So that's coming from online. This is coming from the R drive. We can also look at, if I go back here, I can right click on this and I can look at the attribute table. That's going to be the attributes associated with this World Counties, and we can see that this includes certain attributes of each of those polygons, including the name of the country, the abbreviation of the country, what region it's in, etc. If I just wanted to select one country like Brazil, I can highlight it here. Let me go back to my full extent so we can see that just Brazil is highlighted here, both on the map and in the attribute table. And if I wanted to clear that, I can do that in several different ways. I can clear it here, or I can, in my map, I can clear my selection up here as well. Either way, it's going to clear it off of the map. I'm going to go ahead and close my attribute table for now. I'm going to zoom to the extent, the full extent once again, and then I'm going to open the catalog view. If you don't have this, and I don't have this, so I'll need to do this, you go under View, and then say, I usually use a catalog pane because it just puts it along the side here. And this shows what we have on the map. So one of the things here is that we have a map named Map on the map. We could change that name if we wanted to World Map or something like that. And then it changes it both here and here. One thing to remember is sometimes people accidentally close out tabs, like this world map here, and it's like, oh no, where did anything go? But you can always just double click on that, and it brings it right back up. So as long as you can get to the catalog view, you can always bring that back. We also have databases here, and we can see for this project, it's the World Geodatabase that we're using. And once again, that's coming from my student directory folder, my student folder, and the geodatabase that I copied and pasted there. We can also see that the folder here, the same deal, is coming from my student folder. So that's one important thing to remember. We don't want to access the data directly from the data folder because once again, you can't write there and you won't be able to do exercises for this class from there. And then if we finally, if we wanted to make a copy of a map, we could also duplicate it. Now we have a world map and a world map 1. If I double click on that, it opens up next to world map 1. And if I wanted this to be different, like for example, not including, let's say not including the background, I can just change it here, and now I have two different world maps. And there, once again, under here, if I delete one, I can always re-add it over here. Finally, another thing I can do is if I click on World Countries and then go under Properties, there's a definition query here, and I can add a new definition query. And let's say name is equal to, and then this will show all of the different names I have. I'm just going to pick Brazil again. I can't remember what it is in the exercise, but Brazil. And I'm going to apply that. Say OK. And now it only shows the country of Brazil. And that's the same, that's also true in the attribute table. That does not mean the rest of the countries have disappeared. It just means the only one for this new definition query is Brazil. So I just set a definition query to only show part of the map. And that should pretty much cover what you'll want to do in part 2, and then please answer the questions to complete that part of the lab.